The Wizard's Affordable Housing Looking Glass, Finding a Place for Everybody. A book about houses, land, zoning, money, energy, water, regulation, homelessness, and the surprisingly complicated question of where a human being is allowed to sleep. The wizard had encountered some complicated problems in his life. He had worked with robots. He had contemplated spaceships. He had experimented with artificial intelligence, communication systems, strange scientific instruments, solar power, and more than a few projects that probably should have come with warning labels. But one morning, he encountered a problem that appeared ridiculously simple. His people needed places to live. "Fine," said the wizard. "We'll build some houses." That was approximately when the trouble started. Someone mentioned zoning. Someone else mentioned building codes. Then came minimum lot sizes, setbacks, septic permits, utility connections, impact fees, property taxes, insurance, mortgages, easements, deed restrictions, homeowners associations, occupancy limits, tiny house ordinances, manufactured home regulations, RV restrictions, well permits, flood zones, wetlands, driveway permits, electrical inspections. And somebody, somewhere, apparently had an opinion about whether you were allowed to collect water that fell out of the sky onto your own roof. The wizard stared at the growing pile of paperwork. "We can send people to Mars," he finally said. "But where exactly are we allowed to put a 400-square-foot house?" Nobody immediately answered. And thus began another investigation. The central question. This book will investigate a deceptively difficult question. How can America provide safe, dignified, and genuinely affordable housing for everyone who needs it? Not merely inexpensive construction, affordable living. A $40,000 house isn't affordable if it requires a $150,000 lot. A paid-off house isn't inexpensive if taxes, insurance, utilities, and association fees cost thousands of dollars every year. A tiny house isn't useful if virtually nowhere nearby permits someone to occupy it. An off-grid cabin isn't off-grid if regulations require tens of thousands of dollars of infrastructure before an occupancy permit can be issued. And homelessness isn't limited to the person sleeping underneath a bridge. There is another population that is difficult to count. The wizard calls them the people between houses. They sleep temporarily with children, parents, friends, co-workers, former spouses, relatives, motels, campgrounds, vehicles, RVs, boats, spare bedrooms, basements, and couches. The wizard eventually discovers an ancient principle of American hospitality. Guests, like fish, supposedly begin attracting attention after about 3 days. The joke is funny. The housing insecurity behind it isn't. These couch people represent an important part of the investigation, because someone can technically have a roof over their head tonight while having absolutely no secure housing for next month. Challenge. Finally, the wizard proposes an experiment. Forget the $1 million house. Forget even the $300,000 house. Can America create respectable housing whose total long-term occupancy cost approaches $500 per month? Not merely the mortgage. Everything. Land, structure, financing, taxes, insurance, energy, water, wastewater, maintenance reserves. The investigation might discover that $500 is unrealistic in certain places. Fine. Then determine whether the number is $600, $750, $900, but calculate it. That transforms affordable housing from a political slogan into an engineering problem. The wizard's first principle of affordable housing. The investigation begins with one equation: affordable housing, A, affordable land, plus affordable structure, plus affordable infrastructure, affordable financing, plus affordable operation, plus legal permission to live there. Remove any one of those pieces and the equation can collapse. The wizard looked at the equation for a long time. Then he smiled. So the problem isn't that we don't know how to build houses. No, said one of his assistants. The problem is figuring out how to make the entire system work. The wizard picked up his notebook. Excellent. His assistant looked concerned. Why is that excellent? Because, said the wizard, heading toward the door, now we know what we're investigating. And somewhere in America, a zoning administrator suddenly developed an unexplained headache. Global Robotics Corporation, Robert Colee.